Hello, it's Mama Jess here. This is the place. Everything that you wish your mother taught you or told you to help minimize the amount of suffering and difficulty in your life. So I want you now at this point to get yourself a beautiful journal and title it, anything that has to do with like taking back your brain from popular culture or finding your true identity, not the identity that you're picking up within the trends of the culture. Or because what I'm seeing is that whether you're going toward the right or the left in the political world, they both have similar looks. So if you're on the left, I can usually tell who's on the left because of the color of their hair, the number of tattoos they have, the number of piercings. And I'm not judging this. I'm just saying this is just the general appearance of those on the left, and they believe that this is being unique, but they all look the same. There's nothing unique about them. The right, they're more into dressing more formal, maybe suits and ties for the men, but a general appearance that's just a little more clean cut, right? And there's always anomalies to either side, so I'm not going to address that. But what I see is that a lot of these young people, this is, you're taking on identities that aren't actually you. And I understand, I did the same. When I had no guidance, I was like looking around in the gutters of Santa Cruz like, who am I? What can I be? Oh, that's what a girl looks like. I'll wear more spandex. Or, oh, I have to have more blonde streaks in my hair because men seem to think that's beautiful. And I was just like, how do I do this? And I was just floundering. I didn't have the counsel I needed. So where am I supposed to go? What do I do? I went through seasons where it's like, because I was raised to be a very hardcore athlete in Santa Cruz. And there's a strong feminist spirit there that's kind of angry. That's my personal experience. It's not always lesbian, but it definitely was hard. And wanted to compete and fight against the men, and it was not a healthy state to be in. So I thought that's who I was. And then when I was like, I wanted to get away from that because I thought that's not really who I am. It's too intense. I don't want to be angry, and I don't want to wear spandex all the time. I got into this thing where I'd like go to Long's before it was CVS/pharmacy, and I would look for pastel colors. Anything with pastel is like, I'm in a pastel mood. This is my identity now. And I buy pastel sheets and pastel bedding and pastel hair ties and whatever. I went through a time I was resentful about the blonde, long-haired beach babe that I felt that I had to become to be accepted in Santa Cruz. And I cut all my hair off and I dyed it black. So I was seeking, like, who am I? What am I? I don't know. And over time, on this quest, usually when I'd come upon something, I would see it and I would resonate like, I know that's who I really am. And it would bring me this peace, and it felt ancient, and it felt grounding and wise and like tradition that I knew. Like when I would see mason jars in people's homes that were full of legumes or nuts or whatever, I'd be like, I know that I need these. And that really is true about me now. And that is stable and steady. And I see the functionality in having mason jars as cups and storage units, and I use them for everything. And I always will. But what I see with young people, like I was doing, at times, is that I thought when I found something, I was like, this is it, for sure, I know it. And then the next week I'd be like, I don't really like that anymore. And I think that's why a lot of people are concerned about transgender operations, because boy, when we're young, we are bouncing like a ball in a pinball machine all over the place. And that's a part of our growing up. But it's especially difficult, I think, when you have no guidance. You have no elders. You have no one to help you. You're going to hear that often in Mama Jess's kitchen because I'm usually making bread or cheese or something. So my cheese will be done in 10 minutes. the curds are forming. So I don't want you to be hasty to take on an identity yet. She's like, we're going to decompress this intensity, this drive that is pushing you so hard to know who you are. And this is who I am. And this is my identity. You need an understanding elder to help you go through these really difficult, tumultuous gyrations that you're going to be uncertain a lot. And who am I now? And I don't know. And again, it would have been easier if you had a parent walk you through this. But many people don't have parents that can offer anything because they were subject to the same deficiencies, the same lack of help, the same all the propaganda of commercials, or just the ridiculous pop culture of the movie world, or or bad teaching in certain school settings, maybe certain religious cult environments. And that doesn't dismiss the fact that they're guilty for failing to raise you properly. But it also, you can just let them off the hook. Yeah, you were screwed up too, fine. I get it. And now I need to deal with myself. We got to get out of this state of chaos. So yeah, it's time, just really go easy on your identity. You don't have to know all of these heavy things right now. These, where you think that this is going to always be this way. Even back off on tattoos, back off on some of the piercings, back off on, if you dye your hair, that can be, dealt with later. But some of these heavier markings that you're doing on your body, activities that will be detrimental to your sense of honor as a person. I know there's a lot of perversions out there right now. So if you can understand, you don't have to identify with any of that. You just need to identify with one person that loves you, who is going to help build you up so that you can be who you need to be. I can't even remember how I started this video. What did I say? What was I talking about? The right and the left, and I can discern who's who, and all the identity, crises that everyone's in. And now, for me, with pastels, I don't really care for pastels. I like kind of earthy colors, and it seems to stick, and that's fine. Doesn't mean sometimes I won't wear a pink sweater. But it's nice to allow yourself the freedom to not be so concrete in who you think you are right now as a young person. You will feel lost and disoriented. You might feel anxious about it. But I think you're kind of trying to cling to an identity to give you a sense of belonging somewhere or groundedness, but really you just need a connection with the person that loves you. So this is Mama Jess. I love you. I have been thinking about you and praying for you for the last 25 years. And I'm here to pour my life out and be completely scrutinized by the cyberbullying and everything else online, which I'm not looking forward to at all. But it's the life work. I got to get it out of me before I die. And so, yeah, just pull out of a lot of these online things. Connect yourself with one or two people that seem sane, supportive. They'll help you build. It'll clear your mind, and you can get out of the chaos. Because I know in the last so many years, the more I've tried to understand pop culture through the online thing, the more mentally ill I feel. I have to go lay down. I don't feel good. I just watch too many news clips. Ugh. And so, in order to repair your mind, heal your mind, grow your mind, you got to get out of those environments that are burning you out. All right. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.